Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Keegan. If you enjoy this review, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave those opinions right down there in the comment section. Maroon 5, Red Pill Blues. Maroon 5 is an American previously pop rock group who have really been on the decline ever since their career started. The band's first album, Songs About Jane, easily their best work, followed by the second album, It Won't Be Soon Before Long, also fantastic. However, their recent outings into pop have been extremely hit or miss. While I do like Overexposed a bit, their pop has been extremely sugary along with very ingenuine. And this album right here appears to be no different, their sixth album, Red Pill Blues. Just a heads up here, I will be talking about the deluxe version as I usually do, and though it may not say in the title, it will be including the deluxe songs along with all my future reviews unless I say otherwise. So just a friendly heads up. Maybe this album is a change from Maroon 5's pop direction? Let's find out as I review it track by track. We'll start off with the singles, with there only being 3 of them. The first one being Don't Wanna Know with Kendrick Lamar, which is such a lifeless lead-off single. Adam sounds tired as all hell, and sure, he sounded tired over a lot of tracks from their previous album, but this song in particular must have just sucked the soul out of him, because I can just picture him singing with a deadpan expression like, I don't wanna know, no, no, no. The instrumental is just boring, these washy synths and absolutely boring percussion, and why in God's name is Kendrick on this song? He must have even known this song sucks because he only contributes 8 bars and just sounds like he has no idea what he's doing here. Lyrically, it's about how he doesn't want to know who's taking her home and not loving her the way he used to. It's just a horrible song. Can't believe it was released to the radio. The second single, Cold with Future, is only slightly, marginally better. Adam sounds less dead, like he's actually putting in an attempt, vocally, at least on the chorus. The verses, of course, are still dead. And the first verse and chorus instrumentally are so boring. It's just a very muted, bass-heavy synth. It takes until the second chorus for the full instrumental to come in, adding some extra synth work, but also the reggaeton beat for the percussion. Future at least makes a bit more sense than Kendrick as a feature, and his verse actually isn't that bad. The instrumental is a bit more heavy for his verse, which does help, and he at least stays on topic. Lyrically, it's about this romantic partner becoming stone cold, no emotion, and he's wondering why. It's slightly better, but not much. And the third and final single, What Lovers Do with SZA, is easily the best out of the 3 singles. It has the most groove out of all of them by a mile, quite perky, upbeat synths and claps. The chorus is also quite fantastic. Adam's falsettos, while usually terrible, are actually tolerable this time, and the percussion has almost a disco feel to it. SZA contributes on the second verse, and she sounds just as nice as usual. Definitely the best used feature out of all the singles as well. Lyrically, it's about doing what lovers do. I mean, not much to dissect here. Definitely worth keeping around, and one of the best tracks on the album. With singles leaving an incredibly mixed reaction, I did not have high hopes going into the full album. Now for the rest of the tracks. Best For You is actually one of the more solid tunes on this album. While the instrumental has lost quite a lot of its original groove, it's still there. And it's certainly not as sleepy as the first 2 god-awful singles. The drop is pathetic on the chorus, and Adam's vocals are quite dead again, but his melodies on the pre-chorus I really enjoy, and his falsettos aren't overboard either. Lyrically, Adam's just confessing that he wants to be the best for this person, and he strongly knows that he isn't. It's not peak pop Maroon 5, but it's also not worth completely shitting on. I'll keep it around. Wait, which became a post-release radio single, and God, why does this band pick the most egregious songs from their albums to be singles? Is this what the band thinks the pop scene needs? Because I can safely assure we get enough of these songs from other artists. It's a trap-influenced pop song, and the synths are so lifeless, it's tedious. Adam's vocals are nightmarishly bad, the falsettos are terrible, and verses sound ripped of any happiness. Lyrically, it's just about wanting to work things out with a significant other. Not a good song, just skip it. Lips on You easily features one of the worst instrumentals on this entire album. Like, seriously, who asked for this swampy, drowned-out R&B-esque instrumental? Adam tries to pull off this sultry, moody vocal performance, but it just comes off as very uncomfortable and awkward. Surprisingly, it's also the most alive he's felt on this album so far. Lyrically, it's just a sexy love song, putting his lips on this person, getting shivers, crying out his name, which is still awkward nonetheless. Another bad song. Bet My Heart is just kinda standard Maroon 5 pop song. No, seriously, this track is practically harmless. Sure, it may be a bit sleepy, and that drop is so weak, but the gentle, warm guitar picking is nice and blend well with the muddy synths. Adam's vocals aren't all that bad either. It's not award-winning or anything, but it's fine. Lyrically, it's trying to be a love song with a bizarre concept about betting his heart on this person on what? On love? Oh, I don't want to complicate this for you. Too bad you did. It's a mess song, just take it or leave it. Help Me Out with Julia Michaels is extremely sugary sweet, it's unreal. These keyboard synths were just made out of pure sugar, and this drum is actually very drowned out. What is it with pop instrumentals and drowning out synths to create this moodier sound? Adam and Julia both flex their falsettos on the pre-chorus, and Jesus why, we didn't need that. This was also the time when Julia kind of didn't have her sound down properly, so she kind of sounds off, and Adam just sounds like normal. Lyrically, it's basically about asking this person to help them out. Maybe a friend, maybe a partner, it's kind of unclear. Overall, I could care less for this track. Skipped. Who I Am with Lunch Money Lewis is definitely one of the better jams on this album. It doesn't have a completely entrancing groove, but it just kind of has that vibe, almost feeling tropical. Just something nice to relax to. Adam has fantastic melody on this track, and he actually sounds like he cares about this track as he gives a lively performance. Lunch Money Lewis, however, was severely underutilized for this beat, only featuring for a grand total of 15 seconds, just going 8 bars and that's it. Talk about underwhelming. Lyrically, it's about him being who he is, it's just how he acts, and their partner should know that by now. Actually a decent song, I'm gonna keep it around. Whiskey with A$AP Rocky is the ballad of this album. The main melody is the soft, sincere piano combined with these fluttery synths. Adam actually gives a fitting, more emotional performance, thankfully, and it really does help. It kind of feels weird to hear A$AP Rocky over such a gentle instrumental, but he actually sounds nice at times, and others he sounds completely in the wrong place. So it's a very mixed performance for me. Lyrically, it's simply about being in a genuine teenage relationship. It's very sweet and I actually like it a lot. It's probably the guilty pleasure of this album for me. Girls Like You, which was the other massive radio hit off this album. However, it was remixed with Cardi B. We're not talking about that one yet, but we will get to it. And seriously, Adam, why do you have to pick the most boring songs to be singles? This guitar is so flat and dull I could practically fall asleep to it. Adam yet again sounds bored out of his mind, and the drop is monotonous. Lyrically, it's simply about wanting a girl like you, whatever that means. He never directly says what it is. This album is draining so far. Pass the song too. Closure is 11.5 minutes for some reason. Not gonna lie, I could honestly make an entire rant video on this one song alone. But instead of doing that, I will leave you with one simple question. Who asked for this? Who wanted an 11-minute Maroon 5 pop song? Genuinely, leave in the comments your answer. This song could have easily been done in 3 minutes and it would have been fine, but the instrumental continues for the remaining 8.5 minutes with no vocals. I mean, it's a nice jazz-inspired pop instrumental, but I don't want to listen to it by itself for 8.5 minutes with no vocals. It's like a Tool song gone pop, which, saying that makes me cringe. Lyrically, it's just about how if they want closure, close the door. He knows what you went there for. This is easily the worst sin of Maroon 5's career. Skip it harder than you've ever skipped anything before. Denim Jacket is yet another pretty decent tune on this album. In fact, it's probably one of the better ones in the end. The chorus is an absolute vibe. It's got such a breezy, carefree charisma to it, and Adam's vocals are also quite nice. Lyrically, it seems to be about reminiscing about some old relationship, and now they've changed a lot since then. Adam blames himself for losing her and wants to remember them in their denim jacket that they used to wear. No, it's a decent song. Visions is an awkward song. The main thing for me is this melody on the chorus. It just feels very bizarre when combined with this reggae-inspired instrumental. Adam really does not sound comfortable over this beat. In fact, this beat feels very not Maroon 5 at all. Lyrically, it's simply about how he's been seeing visions of this person. Maybe through hallucinogenics? Whatever it is, I don't want any part of it, or this song for that matter. Pass. Plastic Rose is hands down the best song off this album, easy, no questions asked. It has this very upbeat 80s synth funk groove to it, and Adam sounds the liveliest he's ever sounded on this entire album. The funniest thing too is this song is only available on digital streaming. You can't get this song on a physical release. Lyrically, it's simply about giving this romantic partner everything you can, and they give you back very little, with Adam comparing that to being given a plastic rose, as in not genuine. Fantastic song. If you do check out any song from this album, let it be this one. And finally, the closer, a remix of Girls Like You with Cardi B, is just that. It's the original Girls Like You song, but Cardi transforms the bridge into an extra rap verse. The guitar is just as dead as before, and so is Adam. Cardi B gives some much needed energy to this song, but she still can't stop rapping about herself at all, even though she tries to the best she can. Her verse is fine, but it doesn't add too much in the long run, so it's still a crappy radio single. Overall, hands down, this is easily the worst Maroon 5 album, bar none. They've essentially reached the bare minimum they can do to shit out an album, and it's just disappointing. The vocals have become a shred of life that they used to be. It's essentially been progressively splitting in half like a Horcrux. I mean, their new single Memories is pretty good, so hopefully the next album will be better. I'm feeling about a 3 out of 10 on this album. Well guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.